Hi everyone, I will be doing a track breakdown of my latest single, Drama, released through Occult Cats Records. I'm LEISHEN, the artist and producer of the track. First, let's go over the most important part, the kick. Very simple process techno kick here. I just use a kick sample, drum bus, and a rack that I got from Audio React with some EQ, and there's a couple of filters that I use for certain sections. I have those parts automated. When they get to a certain part of the track, I have the automation turn the filter on. Next part is the drums. I just have this really faint percussion, this little one shot here. There's a lot of delay and reverb on it. It's just something that sits in the background. And I have a perk loop here. Kind of like is it a djembe? Djembe? I don't know how you say it. It's a djembe loop. That's a little interest to the overall drums here. This is the loop by itself. And then this is the whole group all together. I've got the ride. I have another ride here. It's a shaker loop. A lot of stuff going on in the drums here. Hi-hat loop. I have 3 open hi-hats. I kind of just use them as layers. So if we put all 3 together, that's what they sound like. I also have 3 close hi-hats. So it's side chained, all three side chain, kind of have like a ducking groove to it. Put all 3 together. I have a second drum group here. It's just like snare, fills, claps. It's just the snare fill. I use this as a transition to get into the breakdown. I use a different pattern, just like a straight roll into the next section. Then of course there's the snare build that goes right into the breakdown. A longer rolling snare build. Then I have some claps, help transition into the next section. This is a sample, and I put some reverb on that drum bus to process it. Not too much going on here. Then I have another clap here. A lot of delay, reverb. Then I have a crash that I only use a couple of times. I think this goes into the second part of the break. And then going into the build, I just used it a few times. I have my synth or instruments group. I have this beeper thing that I use in the breakdown. It's like an offbeat, a pluck. Yeah, it's a pluck that I use. It's a Spire preset. And then this synth that you hear throughout the track, it's a saw synth. So this is actually 2 layers of a lead in Spire. First layer is this lead from a revealed sound pack. This one's called Bring It. So this is what the lead sounds like by itself. Second layer of the lead is another revealed lead called Never Dies. This is what it sounds like on its own. Kind of like a lower, like buzzier sound. And the 2 of these together. Kind of a bit of stuff going on here. I process it with a drum bus, OTT. I have my own reverb, delay, rack going on here. Some EQ, limiter. And then these are the rolling stabs. There's actually also 2 layers. So I have like 2 patterns going on here. I have this kind of rolling stab and then like that pattern going here. First layer is a rack by Audio React. That's what the first layer sounds like. And then the second one is a Spire preset called Knives Out. This one is by Techno Vault. It's like a higher, more like FME lead. Then both these together. Not too much processing going on in the stabs. There's already a lot of processing going on in the Audio React preset. Yeah, just a drum bus here. And my favorite part coming up here is the Acid, the 303. So for the Acid, I use Phocion 2 by D16. This is kind of a modified preset here. Kind of did a little mixing and matching with the scenes and the synthesis settings. I think I also picked a different distortion setting here. This is what it sounds like. And did a lot of automation throughout the track, of course, with the cutoff and the auto filter frequency here to kind of gradually introduce the sound when it starts off. For the pattern, I kind of took a sequence, kind of just like went through a bunch of sequences and picked one that sounded really cool, and then went into the MIDI and just adjusted it to what sounds cool to me. Definitely wasn't like this at first. I had to change a bunch of notes around to make it sound the way I want it. Yeah, so that's what the Acid sounds like. Next is the bass. Gonna need some headphones to probably hear this one. So this is a rolling bass line. There's actually 3 layers to this. I separated the subs and the mids to the bass. For the sub bass, I just used a deep sub preset in Spire. And for the other basses, I used this preset called Polar. This is what it sounds like on its own. And then for the second mid bass layer, I have a kind of like a psytrance bass line going on, just to add like a little clicky crispiness to the top end there. And then in the breakdown, I have this ARP. It's also Spire preset. It's called it's like this pluck called Melodic House. I think it's from one of Nahato's Spire packs. I kind of just have the filter cut off in resonance really low and then kind of start raising it as it gets further into the breakdown. Gonna raise the reverb. This is what it'll sound like in context. So it raises higher like that. And then this is just a simple respace I use in the start of the breakdown. Also a preset in Spire. And now we're down to the effects. Nothing really too special in here. The one thing I would want to point out, I used this Epic Choir Originals. I think it's related to Spitfire. This gets me those epic chorus sounds, that very cinematic type of choir sounds. Yeah, something that you would hear in like an opera or something. And I have kind of like a crystallizer here to give some movement to the choir. Then the rest of the effects is just a bunch of risers and impacts, fallers, stuff like this impact here. A subby impact, down filters, like that one. A simple riser. Nothing too special. There's another riser layer here. This one kind of pans back and forth. This vocal, this is kind of like the meat of the track. So you have this vocal sample, start from the beginning here.
I do it for the drama.
So it's just a vocal sample that says, I do it for the drama. It's pretty much the only thing that it says. And I kind of, chop it up in the climax here.
I do it for the drama.
This sample's from
Do it for the drama.
the Linny vocal pack. I think it's something I got from Splice a while back.
I do it for the drama.
Yeah, there's a bunch of processing on this, saturation, compression. I have a couple of Ozone plugins here, Clarity and Stabilizer, OTT, Chorus, this vocal processing chain to control the reverb and delay. And some parts I have automation turned on, phaser, flanger. It's actually on the flanger setting, and another compressor, and then I sidechain the vocals. And then I have this riser turn on, this riser rack, kind of right before the second drop. So with this, so what this does is it'll kind of give it a washout effect. So it'll wash out the vocals as it approaches the second drop to kind of give the next section more impact and also increase the tension. I have a reverse vocal riser going on in some sections, like about every 4 bars or so. And I have a couple of atmosphere layers here, only in the breakdown sections, just kind of give the breakdowns a more epic cinematic kind of feel to it. This one's from Techno Vault, and this is a Leviathan 4 Atmos sample. So you get these two together, this is what it sounds like. And then the last thing here is the texture layer. I think for this layer, I use Farlight. They have a lot of cool atmosphere and pad presets, and I chose this one called Orphellian, just to kind of give it some grittiness, kind of like a eerie or spooky kind of atmosphere to the track. Really just used in the breaks of the song. So if you get like these 3 layers together, it's kind of like a very tense cinematic feel. And yeah, and then you put everything together here. And we'll play this section just so we can hear more of the acid. And yeah, that was a breakdown of my latest single, Drama, released through Occult Cats Records. And hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again next time.